But his progress is going well.
I don't want to say.
Okay, the time is now 6:31. We are in session. Please make sure you have your mics on so we can capture your beautiful voices. Okay, let's see here. A lot of practice. I haven't done this in a month. Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas will be held on Thursday, November 13th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas, where a quorum of the City Council will be present. All agenda items are subject to action. You can join the meeting at the Zoom link provided in the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting if providing comments in person, and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing the city secretary or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by audio. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Madam Secretary, may I have a call to, or may I have a quorum call, please?
Alderman Bellinger,
Not present.
Alderman Tremblay,
Here.
Alderman Rapino,
Not present.
Alderwoman Walker,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Madero,
Present.
city attorney's here, and city secretary. We have a quorum.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, citizens to be heard, people wishing to speak may sign up with the city secretary in the time and manner indicated above. At this time, we do have Mr. Lamar McNeil. Mr. McNeil, you do have the floor.
Real quick, haven't been able to make the last few meetings, but progress on the house next door. I know you are still trying to get that admin thing to get in there. But I think the guy that owns some of that stuff has moved some of that stuff off, so still some junk over there. Porta potty still sitting there. And then speaking of porta potty, I was just curious if anybody could email me or get offline with me and tell me what the rules are for porta potties, because this guy's had that one there since I started this issue with him next door. And then there's the folks down the street from him have one out there in the front of their house too, a bright red one. I don't know what the rules are with having permanent porta potties on your property. I could understand if you're having a party and you don't want to screw up your septic tank and you rent one and they come pick it up the next day or a day or two after it, but you got permanent porta potties right there on the visible from the roadway and from my back porch. I think that was it, but I just wanted to say thanks for all of you that been trying to help out with my stuff. And then for CJ, I sent that stuff for the complaint board or whatever, the background investigation stuff. So whatever y'all need from me, if I need to do training or anything like that, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm here to help when I can.
Send me an email. Grab my card on the way out whenever
Okay.
then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. That will conclude the citizens to be heard. Mayor and administrator announcements. So just as an update, Mr. Rapino, as you heard, is not present. He is undergoing some health issues, currently in a rehab facility. So please keep him in your prayers. I will be speaking with him tomorrow in person and just kind of getting a pulse check. So I will provide council an update on his status. And then the only other announcement that I really had was regarding the city administrator search. We had quite a few qualified applicants, some internally, some externally. However, after discussing with the hiring committee, we decided to keep the position open and continue to search. So if there is anybody else that is interested, continue to apply. We had, I think, about 12 applicants within a week or two-week time frame. And, each one of them had a unique opportunity or presentation, and we appreciate and we thank you for that. However, like I said, the position will continue to remain open until we can hopefully find someone that's the ideal candidate for the city of Sandy Oaks. I believe that's all the announcements that I have for today. Well, I had a whole plan on how I was going to run the meeting today, but I think that kind of changes. Now 6:36. What I would like to do is move to agenda item 12A and 12B. The presentation of certificates, election administration of oaths of office for persons with the most votes in the general election held on November 4th for the positions of Alderman 1, Alderman 3, Alderman 5, and the special election held on November 4th for the position of Alderman 4, an unexpired term. And agenda item 12B, discuss and or possible action on, oh wait, no, just 11, 12A. Okay, so to that. Okay, well, let's start by bringing you up on stage.
One of the back.
I can come on that side, yep. You can stand right there. Yep. All right, John, so so what we'll have you do is you can, I believe you just sign your statement of officer, and then we'll have you read out loud the oath, is that?
Yeah.
Right, okay. There's a blue pen, sir. Sir. All right, please raise your right hand. I, John Crickmer, do solemnly swear
I, John Crickmer, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
that I will faithfully execute the duties of office
of my Alderman Place 1 for the city of Sandy Oaks
of my Alderman Place 1 of the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, and with the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state, so help me
and
God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Welcome to the council, John.
Thank you.
You can start moving, Chip.
Chair, I'll do it at the next, I'm not gonna spend time doing it now.
Okay. Today's the 14th?
13th.
13th.
Is that it?
That is it, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Walker? If you would kindly please sign your statement of officer. Raise your right hand. I, C.J. Walker,
I, C.J. Walker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties of the office of Alderman Four,
execute the duties of the Alderman Place Four,
an unexpired term for the city of Sandy Oaks
an unexpired term for the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability preserve,
and will to the best of my ability preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution
and defend the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Do it all,
We'll see.
Please read your statement. This. Okay, please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Monica Madero,
I, Monica Madera,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Alderman Place Five
that I will faithfully execute the duties of Alderman Place Five
for the city of Sandy Oaks
for the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
protect and defend the Constitution
protect and defend the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, welcome back. Board's gonna get me. We will administer Tom's oath of office tomorrow. Just as a point of clarity, he is, since he won the same position, he can be in a holdover position, so there's not any risk of him not swearing in quick enough, so. Okay. All right, so then now let's move back to the top of the agenda. And let's go through five, the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items. The discussion is desired. That item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Okay, and for the record, as of 6:45 PM, Alderman Crickmer is now sitting in the hot seat.
So on the consent agenda, the three meeting minutes, I had corrections that I had sent to you, so I need to pull those from the consent agenda.
This afternoon, those were made this afternoon.
All those changes were
Yes, ma'am.
incorporated? Okay.
You're more than welcome to take a look and pull them to
Well-
the side and discuss, but
Well, I just don't know whether I need to tell them because it's not in their copy.
and
You put in copy, please.
Oh, it is in,
Yes.
no, it's not.
no,
It is not.
which one? Well, let's do
Yeah,
it properly.
Let's, yeah.
And then let's just mark through them and then we'll.
Yeah,
make
so
that.
I'd like to pull those three from the consent agenda.
Understood. Yep. So is that your motion?
I didn't think we needed. a
I
motion
guess
to pull
not, yeah.
something.
Guess not. Yeah.
And if there's no concerns with the two invoices, I would move to approve item D and E on the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, I get a motion from our Mayor Pro Tem and a second from Alderman Tremblay to approve agenda items 5D and E as presented. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? That motion carries. Okay, so let's take a look.
So, if you go to, we'll start with the 16,
The 16th?
no, the 9 October, excuse me.
Okay,
If you look at the top of the second page, where we're talking about the item that was originally 13E, it's currently 13D. I had requested a change of of removing the phrase Roman numeral 4 and actually updating the number in the motion to actually match the number that's in the ordinance so that when someone sees it, they know where to find it. So they did insert that. If you look at the second motion on the top of the second page, they did, it has been inserted 5D4 and then the Roman numeral 4. And I know most people don't know, they don't teach Roman numerals anymore, but we're using it in our ordinance, so we need to use it here. However, number 4 under Roman numeral 4 is still, makes it incorrect. So it's still,
okay, so then it's just,
no, excuse me, not the second motion, it's the third motion on there. It still says Roman numeral 4. That one hasn't been fixed. And then Roman numeral 4. Every time they see Roman numeral 4, we need a Roman numeral 4. So the second motion, Roman numeral 4 should be written as Roman numeral 4. This third motion, Roman numeral 4, it should be written like the second motion where it says 5D4 and then the Roman numeral IV.
okay,
So second motion. Move to strike Roman numeral 4 and insert IV.
on the last page. It's on the last page.
And the third
Okay, right.
motion. Remove the word Roman numeral and put the IV next to 5D4.
One more time.
So the second motion on the top of the second page.
Mhm.
It says 5D4 IV number 4 under Roman numeral 4.
Okay.
So Roman numeral 4, that term should be changed to IV. So I want to strike, I move to strike Roman numeral 4 and insert IV. And then in the third motion, I move to strike Roman numeral after 5D4 and remove the spaces so that the IV is right next to the 4. So that it looks like the number in the ordinance.
Okay, so I have a motion by the mayor. So I'm gonna do it as one motion for both.
Yeah, because
Sure.
it's both the same issue.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so the motion by Mayor Pro Tem and
1 second, actually. Going down, not the next motion, but the motion after this, the same thing. Remove Roman numeral 4 and add IV. Strike Roman numeral 4, insert IV.
And these are all lowercase.
Yes, lowercase IV. Yes, ma'am. So that's the second, the third, and the fifth motion. Each have a correction.
Okay. So I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem to strike in the motion Roman numeral 4 and insert IV in lowercase. In the second, or no, rather in the third motion to remove Roman numeral, remove the spaces and connect 5D4 to IV. And in the fifth motion to again do the same thing, remove Roman numeral 4 and insert IV next to 5D4. That's three motions. I mean, that's three.
Three corrections,
Three
yeah.
corrections, yeah. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman Walker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries. Okay.
Okay, and then October 16th, the change is made in the version that is provided to you, but just so you guys have situational awareness without having to read through the whole thing. There was a comment that the mayor did not agree with one of our changes. And that was included in here. And I don't feel that that's relevant. There was no tie vote. The mayor's vote is not relevant. It should have just indicated that it passed unanimously and only include the mayor's vote when it's relevant. That has been corrected in here. I don't recall exactly which motion it was, but it has been.
It's when you took away PTO.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
one of the two PTOs. I don't
Yeah.
remember which one, but yeah, it passed unanimously. The records do indicate that the mayor didn't agree with it, but it's not relevant to the vote because there was no tie on that one. So just so you know, that change was made to the October 16th from the version that you previously emailed. And then on October 23rd, section 6C, just so you know, the correction is made on this version. In 6C, they did remove the term Roman numeral and change it to IV. So that change was made from the version that you were emailed previously. So no new motion. It's just informing you of the changes that were made.
If there are no,
Do you have any questions, comments, concerns with those changes that I have requested?
we could take a motion.
All right, I move to approve consent agenda I as amended, or 5A as amended, 5B and 5C.
I second.
All right, I got a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman CJ to approve item 5A as amended and 5B and C as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. Moving right along. Okay. To 6A, income and expenses for October 2025 will be reported by the City Secretary, Delma Doyle, with possible discussion and or action. Ma'am, you do have the floor.
All right, so Frost General Fund. The statement beginning balance as of October the 1st was $98,588.24. Checks and payments cleared were $89,375.92. Deposits and other credits cleared were $201,646.27. The statement ending balance as of October 31st, 2025. $210,858.59. The actual Chase General Fund, as the account is still open. The statement beginning balance October the 1st is $151,594.78. Checks and payments cleared were $137,771.85. Deposits and other credits cleared were $10,066.98. Statement ending balance as of October 31st, 2025, $23,889.91. Any questions on those? Now, the ARPA in the Frost account and the TBA, there is no activity in those, and their balances did stay the same. The ARPA was $33,480.39, and the TBA grant was $15,544.10.
Well, we did have debit, so it's a zero. The balance at the end of October is now zero.
So these are the cross ones.
Yeah, those should be zero as well.
Really?
Yep, because we closed out the TDA, we closed out the ARPA and Chase, and then we closed out the TDA and we closed out the ARPA and Frost. Yeah. So they'll be, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, these books are zero
Yep.
in the report that I have.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we closed out TDA because we're done with the grant. We were able to move that back into the general fund. And then ARPA, we sent back whatever was remaining to the US government.
Okay, I do have a few questions, and I've already sent these to you, so you know, what they are. So the
Sure.
check that I didn't see, that's not relevant. I do have, if you look at the reconciliation report, no, not that one. The one that, it is the general fund account. On October 3rd, there were two payments to Casan and Ortiz. Those two items were on the council's agenda for the 9th of October. Now, in your response to me, you indicated that that's just for situational awareness. So why is it on the consent agenda if you're not looking for our consent, one? And two, what if one of us have a disagreement with what we're being billed and want to change it? That bill wasn't due until the end of October or later in October. There was no reason to pay it before we approved it. And just in case we had I don't know about y'all, but when I hire an attorney, I look over that bill and say, yeah, it makes sense to spend an hour on that. No, that phone call was only 15 minutes, those kind of things. So if it's given to us as a consent agenda, that makes me think we're approving it. But you indicated, no, that's just a courtesy. They go ahead and pay it when it comes in.
It's a budgeted item, right? So we've approved to allocate X amount of dollars. So yes, I understand your concern, and we can certainly make sure that that happens, right? To where we don't pay it until the 14th, right, as an example. However, it is a budgeted item. It doesn't have to end up on the consent agenda either. So,
Right, but what happens if one of us disagrees with the billing?
and that's why I'm saying we can certainly make sure that it doesn't happen like
Right.
that.
Now, if it's coming up close and it's due, then I definitely understand paying it before we approve it, but I think it's in just due diligence to make sure. I understand budgeted to spend X amount of dollars during the year,
Yep.
but for that particular month, the itemized, that's my thoughts, Alderman.
But when do they do? Are they do upon receipt?
No, they all have a date
A
due,
30
like
days.
this one was due at the end of
30 days,
October.
Then no issue with.
Delaying it to the approval.
A payment until it comes to council.
Yeah, I think usually it happens like that. Why it did it
No, this is
happen
the second time this has happened. This is why I'm bringing it up.
But
Yeah.
again, usually there's 12 months in a year. I'd say 10 out of 12 usually. But yes, I agree.
Right, so, all right, and then, you indicated, I asked about the expense on the 14th of October for 6460. It was a payment to eForce. I found that on the other
Yes.
item, but you indicated, because
Yeah.
I went and I couldn't find anything where we approved giving eForce that amount of money
was-
anytime in the
it was
recent
last year.
past.
This
It was
So-
last year. It was in the
so-
last fiscal budget because they haven't billed us. They're still connecting the dots.
Okay, so this is what we approved.
Yep.
So we're still paying last fiscal year's bills with this fiscal year's money. How is that gonna impact us?
It is, but we'll just have to do a budget amendment.
Yeah, because that's a big chunk of change.
It is.
Have you looked to see if there's any other items that we approved last year and didn't get billed for within the time frame?
The only other one that I can think of that's significant would be the laptops that y'all discussed last time.
So,
I think if we look at the budget and the actuals as we move on, you'll see where some of the
Where it was like,
budgets, departments have utilized a large percentage of their budget. So I think we can clear that up as we move on.
right, okay, it's just concerning. So it was approved, but last fiscal year, so we're monitoring that and aware of it.
Yep.
And then,
we
You-
do reach out to our more frequent vendors to try to get the most recent, or at least see what's outstanding. It's just hit or miss, right?
right, that was just a big bill,
Yep.
so just, so it's not, it's coming out of the police department's budget and they need their money.
Yep.
So we just want to make sure.
Agree.
And then you explained that the $100,000 was transferring. Have we closed out Chase accounts now? Are we done with
There's
Chase?
still $12,000 in there because there's still remaining debits that need to be transferred over.
Okay, so once that's all done, then we'll close that out. Okay, because just transfer it as much as you can. And then there were two $200 checks. One was for the DJ and you indicated the second $200 check, which I didn't see a reason for, was for the drum
The
line.
Booster Club, yeah,
The booster club
yes.
that came. Okay, and you said you remedied the check from the check that went to
Priscilla,
Public Works.
yeah.
Because I didn't see it on this new.
Yeah,
report.
this
It
new
was on
one.
the one you emailed.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
have from our, so we're gonna run into situations like that on occasion where things are unreconciled, just because as we go in and move things around to allocate them to the correct budgets, if she's already reconciled, it's gonna throw it as unclear.
Right, but that was written in July,
I,
July,
Yeah.
and it's
I
already
get
October.
you, I get you.
So,
But yes, it's been,
I mean, if it's a month, one thing, but we're talking
Right.
4 months.
and we're not doing accrual, so yes, it just needed to be deleted.
Okay, then under the actuals. And this one, I'm also not sure of your explanation.
Mhm.
Under the court, it says fines and fees,
Mhm.
we budgeted.
Yeah, so let me,
saying that we're gonna get $260,000 in fines and fees, and we're already got 48% of that.
Right.
Already in,
so yeah, so the explanation on that is that's that $100,000 movement that you asked about initially. Where is that at? Unfortunately, we had to land it inside that account. So we need to find a line item. So again, more budget amendments to account for that $100,000. So
Okay,
if
so
you
we
look,
didn't really get $100,000.
No, correct. So if you look at-
Be 34,000.
right, so if you look
Okay.
at everything there, all the budgets are off because of that $100,000 line input.
I was thinking the police department's really out there shaking butt with those fines and fees. That we
We're gonna get
got
all the roads
that
fixed.
much already.
Yeah.
All right.
That was your
Hopeful
question.
thinking there.
Yeah.
And then, the BCAD, we pay BCAD twice a year.
And so I have the invoice here. In fact, I have a call to them because it is not something that I am personally familiar with. But I have a call into Bear County Appraisal District to see what that is for. It is it's labeled as an SLS, which is a sales invoice.
Yeah,
But
but what are we getting from
exactly.
them for that money?
Exactly.
And if it's twice a year, we paid 40%. So, I mean, we're online if it's a 2-time-a-year payment, but what are we getting for that
Correct.
money every year?
Yep.
And then, the Frost Bank, you already explained the two general deposits, just closing out those two accounts, which we already spoke about in what did you say that third one was for 10,341?
That was, so that's our ad valorem, right? So that's our sales tax that we receive. So it's a wire.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
It was an online domestic wire.
Yeah. That was an in, right? So that's a receivable.
Understood. Thank you. Those were my questions associated, and thank you for taking the time to reply to my email today.
Of course. If there are no questions, we can take a motion.
All right, I'll move to approve the financial report as submitted.
I'll second.
All right, I got a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by our Mayor Pro Tem. All those to accept the financial report as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that motion carries. At this time, our Public Works Officer or Public Works Director is not in office due to some family issues. Please keep their family in your prayers. And we will see her hopefully next time. Animal Control 8A, updates and announcements and presentation of monthly report from ACO Cunningham with possible discussion and action.
Can we go back to 7? Can I ask
Yeah.
a question?
Oh, yeah, let's
So
go.
when she briefed last month, there were 2 quotes that we asked her to get. One of them I see is on here. The other one The citizens were asking for improvements to the trail. I know you and I discussed it, but because it was something citizens were asking for, can you just provide that information that you provided to me about the quote for the trail in the park?
For the base.
Yeah.
Yep. So she did provide me a quote for road-based material to be applied to the trail, to the walking track. Again, that is a budgeted line item. So it was $700, $600 approximately. And I gave her the approval to go ahead and move forward because it is a part of her budget. It's a part of a regular expense that we should expect.
Do we have a timeline for when she might, just so the citizens can know?
When she can come back?
So she's gonna do it herself when she gets back?
Yes, yeah, we will, and Mike and Jacob are certainly capable enough to do it. We just need to now go and order it, so.
Okay.
Yep.
But a timeline, like.
Timeline, I would
If she
say,
gets back just a couple weeks to get it done.
I wouldn't shoot for anything before Christmas, just to be on the safe side, so let's get through the new year.
Yeah, probably in
Yeah.
next year. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are they gonna dump a load of base in the park and the city employees are gonna spread it?
That would be correct, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Any other questions on 7A?
No, that's all. Thank you.
All right, now we can move to 8A, updates and announcements and presentation of monthly report from ACO Cunningham with possible discussion and or action. Ma'am, you do have the floor. However, let's start with, are there any questions for our ACO to begin? Okay, and then if you want to go through your updates and announcements.
October was really, really busy. We had a lot of dogs come in. We had number of new animals that we had come into the facility was 25. That's a little bit abnormal. We did have a cruelty case that added to the number of dogs that were brought in. As of the 4th, we had 21 dogs in our facility. And I think right now we have, let me see, 11 dogs and we have 3 cats. I am working with Austin Pets Alive to take the cats as quick as possible. They're in the cat room that was made by Public Works. But it is not ideal for holding long term. So, they should be leaving next week. We do have 4 dogs going to Canada. They should be leaving before the 2nd week of December. We had 2 that were supposed to leave Wednesday. However, their transport, it got delayed. So they will be leaving, all 4 of them should be leaving on the same transport if everything goes accordingly. We do have 3 dogs leaving tomorrow. We had someone donate 3 spay neuters. So those dogs ended up getting fixed today and they'll be leaving tomorrow with a rescue. And then we have 2 that should be leaving with Austin Pets Alive. So hopefully by the end of November, we should be down and be able to go out and pick up more dogs. We've been kind of on a hold due to how many dogs we had and trying to get them out of here. We did recently have a fairly severe bite case, and we ended up having to euthanize 6 dogs. All 6 dogs
From one bite?
were involved in the bite. Yes, they were an owner, the homeowner who lived at the location was bitten by her own dogs. So we did, have a pretty significant bill for having to send out for rabies testing. But we got it all done and that is taken care of. We just got word back from the vet. They were all rabies negative.
Now, is that our bill or the owner's bill?
It did come out of my budget.
But do we follow up and bill the owner for them?
For them getting bitten? I mean, it was,
rabies.
For the owner of the dog?
well, we
testing
can
for
bill
rabies.
them, we can bill them for not having a rabies.
Only issue I see with that is that it was kind of complicated, due to incarceration.
So the actual owner of the dogs is incarcerated. And so the dogs lived with the girlfriend or wife or whatever she is. And then his dogs attacked her.
And she owner surrendered the dog.
Okay,
That was a little bit complicated.
okay.
And so we had a conversation this morning about.
Is there a
that.
big impact to your budget having to pay for all that, or is this something we can recover from?
I do believe it's something we can recover from without it can be offset with us giving our own vaccination.
Okay, but those using, the report only says one euthanasia, and I thought that was related to the animal cruelty case.
So
So
So-
the 6 were in November?
those 6 were this month.
Okay.
I just did want to announce it just because it was
To make it-
significant and it
Yeah,
was.
oh, absolutely.
And it was,
Absolutely.
pretty big. So you will see that on next month's
Okay.
account.
And the one is from the animal cruelty case, correct?
The one that was euthanized,
Because I think you
From
mentioned that you
November
had
and
to
October.
euthanize one
Yeah.
of the animal cruelty dog.
I believe so.
So, because you told us about that last month as well, even though it wasn't in the report, because again, something significant.
Yes.
And then you do keep filling up. I mean, there's lots of stray dogs you keep picking up. So where are we at with getting that quote for a new facility? Because last time we discussed it, we decided it wasn't worth trying to fix what we had. It would be more beneficial just to get some quotes about building a new one.
I'm not
So-
real sure. I thought we were,
Right, so we engaged the city engineer to come up with a plan.
You can talk now. You're on the council.
Well, I can help with that. I mentioned it to you before. Going to Metal Mart and asking for some contractors' names. The only thing I need to know is what we want.
I don't know.
To start as a metal building, right?
Yeah.
Concrete
Just start
slab,
with-
metal building,
The size,
yeah.
insulation, heating, air conditioning. So, yeah, everything.
Yeah, well, you should get together offline because it was months ago that we asked for that, and I know it's not easy to do that. You brought us the modular kennels that you wanted, you thought would be helpful. And because it would allow for expansion and changes, we just recommended getting a whole new building for them. And there was even talk of potentially putting that at the park instead of within the animal control facility. So just if we can move forward so that you're not always at max capacity with all these dogs and cats running around.
It's
And
not
it sounds
just-
like Alderman Crickmer is trying to help you.
It's been a while since I've been back there when I was involved in animal control. And I would very much like to go back there soon and check things out, see what's going on.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, a couple of things. As far as their expenses within animal control, and I brought this up before, are we tracking what the city's bringing in through citations for animal control? Are we tracking it so that we can put that money back into the animal control's budget?
It's no, so I don't think anything's flagged as specifically for animal control. Right? It's
I think Jeremy can separate that out. The fines that are paid for animal
Yeah,
control
well,
citations,
yeah,
Jeremy
it's
has
for
the
fines and
ability.
fees, yeah.
Yeah, but no, Jeremy has the ability to separate which ones were specifically an animal control violation.
Okay,
Yeah. I have those numbers,
I mean,
because I asked them,
but that
I
money,
asked for those before, I just don't know where I put it.
but the money doesn't come back, right? Like that's our general fund.
Right,
And it
goes
funds
into
the entire
general fund,
business, so- Now, what we can do is say, okay, she brings in $100,000 a year. We can look at her expenses and say, well, let's match it, right? So it's dollar for dollar. But-
Yeah, so last fiscal year, she brought in $55,000.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty
So-
sure her budget's more than that, but
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So we need to seriously talk more. We can do.
so
that.
we can, yeah,
We can do that.
let's see if we
future.
can flag with Jeremy to say, start flagging them as specifically animal control, then we can track what they're bringing in, then we can adjust the budget.
Yeah, and before we go looking for,
He already flagged it, so he has it.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay,
it just allows us to look at that and possibly utilize those funds. And if it takes a year or two to build that up, we got $50,000 brought in last year. That's $50,000 we could have put down on a building. We're gonna have to hire a draftsman or architect. Somebody's gonna have to draw blueprints for what we want. It's not gonna be just as simple as going out and saying, going to Metal Mart and getting some contractor to say, okay, I can build you a 40 by 60, pin barn for $1,000,000. We need to design it, and that's gonna take a lot of input from you as far as what the requirements are to pass the certification. So I think we need to look at that. But I think the
Their
beginning
county
is,
contractors too, that she can leverage.
but the first thing would be if we can start tracking the citation fund, the fines that are
Already
coming
doing
in.
that.
But the funds, I guess what I don't understand, or what I'm not explaining it clearly, is that the funds are a part of the general fund to fund the entire organization, not just for animal control, right? So when we budget $250,000, right, that's our fines and fees, that's to fund the entire organization, not just animal control. So that's where we expand her budget for expenses.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. We need to look at the big picture. This is what she brings in. We need to supply her with a better facilities or whatever, a larger facility. If she's bringing in $50,000 with this small facility that we have, imagine what she could do or what could be done, like specifically, but yes, let's say, what she could do with a facility that could hold 30 animals versus, what we have here.
Well, David, I mean, I
So-
think we're losing sight too, because if you're gonna hold 30 animals, you also need another person,
That's
right?
right.
So you need
And-
multiple staff. So
But
I
it's
mean,
like I say, it's looking at the big picture. I'm not saying we look at and we say, okay, she brought in $50,000, so let's automatically give her 50,000.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. So just,
No,
as long as, okay,
I'm saying we need to look at the big picture.
okay.
And say, okay, this is what animal control generates for the city,
revenue.
so
Fine for
Okay.
animals?
we can move on.
When we fine for animals, do we have to give the state or the county or any of that, share that money like we do with traffic tickets, or do we get 100% of it?
That's a Jeremy question. I don't know the answer to that. It's a state,
I believe that animal control comes back.
all of it, 100%?
I believe so,
Chief,
except for
do you-
what's sent to the court.
Yeah, okay. Chief, is that,
Don't know.
don't know, okay. All right, we can certainly address that. So is it 100% returned, right? That's the question, 100%. I think if we give them a ticket, that probably is 100%, but like she said, if it goes to court and we have court costs, probably not so much, but I can ask Jeremy. And I'll follow up on that for the next meeting. Anything else? No.
I didn't even finish the rest. So we were not out as much due to having the excessive amount of dogs. That took a great deal of our time. So we had 12 warnings, 6 citations, 8 referrals, 2 impound citations. There were 7 that we were unable to locate. 1 no violation observed and 5 that were resolved prior to contact. And then we had 43 calls for service. We had 12 out of all of those dogs, even though we had a great deal. We did have 12 dogs that were either transferred out, returned to owner, or adopted. And we actually had 2 people come in for microchip services. So that was more than usual.
2 more than
2
usual.
more than usual. And then we did have 1 euthanized dog.
I think we decided not to read those numbers and instead we'll just ask questions and you can point out anything specific just to save time in the future.
Okay.
Okay, well, if there are no other questions or concerns, we can move right along. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, 9A, updates, announcements, and presentation, a monthly report from Chief Waters with possible discussion and or action. Along the line, same line, sir. You do not have to read your numbers word for word, but if you want to start with your updates and announcements, and then if we have questions, we can right into.
So as far as posted, because I haven't seen any posted. If you don't read them, then we can't.
Okay, he'll address you.
As far as the new business, I just want to let you guys know we have 100% recovery of missing / runaway children with the last one that we recovered this month. So for the entire year, every child that's either run away or been reported missing, we have recovered. And then computers have been ordered That's the last one that we did. We ordered them. They'll be here on the 20th of next month. They'll be installed. So those are updates that we've got going on. Far as the stuff that we're being posted, so I didn't know that they weren't being posted. I thought these were being posted. So if you guys have any questions on just that.
Well, that was my question about your runaway and about your laptops. I did have one other question though. You have, a lot of assist other agencies. What does that mean?
So Bear County, and they might label something one way this month and another way next month. So if you go back a few months back, I actually had line items for like assist fire, assist EMS, assist that type of, so now it's just all into one, assist other agencies, whether we're backing up Bear County or a lot of it has to do with the relations that we have with the other agencies now. And so, for example, a couple weeks ago, I had an incident here. I need to back up Elmendorf SSAIC and then came and assisted me. We're assisting Elmendorf a lot as well. When they have one person working and they're asking for backup, we're the closest people. So that's to assist other agencies. If we respond, assist EMS, fire, anything like that.
Okay, so that's all, because I didn't notice the other ones on here, so that's what I was wondering. So we're now just grouping them together. Okay,
Correct.
that's fine, just because that was quite a bit, so that explains why there were so many. So, and did you get the answers about the funding that was approved last year for those laptops? Was that still available elsewhere, or did you have to take that funding out of your police budget?
So we spoke with the mayor about it and it was, one of them was from Mr. Rufino's budget, correct?
That was from the ARPA. We moved the ARPA funds over,
Okay,
So
so
that-
that was still available,
Yeah.
that's good.
So,
and the other one will come out of the,
Okay, so only one of those as planned had come out of budget. I'm glad you were able to find that money, thank you,
and they've been ordered, they'll be here and installed the 20th.
thank you.
next month, the 20th?
That's as soon as-
But that's after the deadline for the windows.
I'm sorry, the 20th of this month.
Okay, I was like, that's, I
Okay, the 20th of this month.
was like,
Okay.
before Christmas? Like, that doesn't make sense.
20th of this month, what they're doing
Okay.
is, so just to clarify that, the brand new computers are on back order. They're gonna give us loaners so that they will work until the new ones come in and just come in and switch them out. But we'll have, the 20th, we'll have the new computer.
20 November.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the police?
So, well, actually just left. We should make sure that ACO, as the animal control is posting their numbers too. That was
Yes.
part of the agreement, is that
Yeah.
the numbers need to be posted on the police department animal control website so they're available.
They are actually on the website. It is, I believe there's 2 or 3 months missing that I have not updated.
And I had Ashley compile a file, so Chief, if we can figure out how to get this all in one file to where it's just a running total month after month after month, like I did with Ashley's, then I can just send it over to CJ and then she can take it
Can
in.
change it out.
Yeah,
Do that, the way Ashley, the way
Yeah.
we did her,
oh, it's in different tabs. That way she could just grab the next tab and post it.
I'll work on making the next bill to do that.
Okay. Cool. Although it's not on the agenda. No. All right, okay, moving along to 10 Parks and Recreations, updates, announcements from our Park Advisory Committee Chair Fillinger with possible discussion and action. Yeah, give me a second. Mr. Fillinger is not here today, but I was gonna ask Alderman Prickmer, since he since he visits the park committee quite
Well, no,
often.
he's one of the citizens on the park
Yeah.
committee.
So I mean, yeah,
I'm
what,
already nominated as the chairman.
okay,
But we have to officially put it on the agenda
Right.
and vote on it. We can't vote on it now. It's not on. the
okay,
agenda.
so.
Do I speak to the issue or not?
Sure.
But as a citizen
Yeah,
that
give us an
was
update.
at the meeting, we would
Okay.
love for you to give
The
us.
next meeting will be December 2nd at 6 p.m. I think that's the first Tuesday of the month. And there's still some discussion about getting a sign for the community center. And my idea was, why don't we just get somebody, whoever made the sign out front of our driveway, to make one with a few modifications, but maybe a little larger, to do the same thing for the community center, if it's economically feasible. That would be the simplest, in my opinion.
So you,
So I'm gonna bring that up with them, we'll discuss it at the park committee.
Okay. So they do, so they want a sign similar to the one out there, right? Like this,
Well-
in that, where would it be at, more or less? I'm just curious.
I'm thinking it would be as you drive in the driveway and look to your left,
Yeah.
you'll see it
Okay.
in front of the
Community
building.
center pointing that way type of thing. Yeah, I got you. Okay. I do have an update for the Parks and Recs. Waste Connections reached out and we're already talking to Ray Lynn. So they asked if they want bikes. Now, like they did last year, bikes are a little bit of a logistical nightmare because they're so big. And then finding the right kid for the right size bike, because they don't take our requests, they just bring bikes. So we end up sitting on bikes for a little while and then we got to store them somewhere if we can't find a family. So I told him about our Angel Tree, so I'm waiting for Raylan to get back to me, but they may say just sponsor a few families instead of donating, 40 bikes like they normally do. So just wanted to give you an update as a.
Does Waste Connections give us bikes to donate to people?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's how we've had them the last few years.
Okay.
And that's actually a few, which is what I mean by logistical nightmare. We actually gave out a few from last Christmas at National Night Out.
Mhm.
So, but we gotta store them. That's why I say it's a problem.
And the tires go flat because we have the cheap Chinese
Yeah.
tires and.
So, yeah, so just be on the lookout for that. So she may bring that up at John's next meeting, but you
Okay.
did say December 2nd is the
Yeah.
next meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Isn't it the first Tuesday of the month?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
yeah, so that's December 2nd. And then 5:30 or 6, because it's usually 5:30, no?
I thought it was 6.
It was 5:30 because activities begin at 6.
Okay,
Okay, it's 5 o'clock then?
I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
was 5 o'clock. there.
Was it 5 o'clock?
1700.
Okay,
Yeah. So there's not in time for the
Yeah.
community center activities that start at 6.
6. You're
Gotcha.
fine. We got you.
My error.
All good. Okay. There's one more. I don't think I had anything else then. Any other questions for Parks and Recs? Okay, then I'll add it to the agenda to update the advisory committee for the next meeting. All right. All right, 11A, discuss and or possible action on amending the personnel policy. Okay, let's see here.
So the mayor provided everyone the copy that I provided to him with all the updates. There were 3 things that I don't know if you can bring it up so everybody can see it, or wait, do we have it in our packet?
We don't have it in the packet.
Yeah, because it's
It's
very
a lot.
lengthy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I can pull it up though. Give me a
So-
minute.
Yeah, so there was a couple of questions that we asked that I spoke with I'm trying to pull it up on my laptop. I asked city attorney to answer. The one question was regarding the default is that the items are listed, the contact information is listed, and it is by law that that's the default, so we can't change that. If folks don't want to, then they need to say, don't reveal my information. It is set up by default. And then, the mayor provided in the package an email with her, comments regarding the personnel policy change on making sure that when employees came back from workers' comp, that they don't take, take 6, 7 months of PTO and then come back and take a month off because it's the end of the year or something like that. So she outlined 4 different options. I don't know if you all had a chance to look at those. Those were in the email that the mayor provided as a PDF. So, bottom line is, we're concerned is that someone takes 6, 7 months off because of workman's comp, come back and take a month of leave, because again, we give them their leave at the beginning. They could have 3 weeks of leave if they've been here for a while. But supervisor has to approve the leave, so if they just deny it, then they lose it. Or we can modify the thing and allow the policy and allow them to carry over part of it. Again, just trying to cover what those options are, allow them to roll it over and give them the first quarter, but then they still just might end up taking a whole chunk of leave, or allowing them a grace period.
Do you want the accepted changes, the changes accepted, or the PPM changes? Just the changes? Which would
Yeah,
be,
just, what do they want to see? Do they want to see the changes, track changes, or just the final document?
The final document.
Final document. So, we can just leave it as it is. And then leave it on the supervisor to make the call whether or not they can afford to let someone take their PTO when they come back from workers' comp. And again, that's just assuming that,
I mean, they have that option, so even on the supervisor.
but the way it's written now, they have no option to carry any of that over because they spent, most of the year on, or a large portion of the year on workers' comp. And if we're good with that, we can just leave it as it is. Personally, I'm good with that. Either the supervisor can afford to let them take more time off or not.
and they've been gone the whole time, so I mean, it's not like they're missing them. It's on my. Why is it not scrolling?
Okay, so, if you look at the table of contents, I did reorder it. We had approved to reorder everything except for the first three. I also assumed that you all wanted the acknowledgement to be the last item. So I didn't reorder the acknowledgement at the end. It's still the very last document on here. As you can see, and I adjusted the margin, so 1.5 on the left, 0.5 on the right. And then item 15 is the sexual harassment title. I updated that one. And then I made all the other changes as well as that title there on item 15 acceptable.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so if you guys had a chance to look at that, you will see that I incorporated all the changes. However, in doing this, it occurred to me that there were other things that were in that email that we didn't talk about that were recommendations from the city attorney. It was 3 things. One, question from the city attorney, should we incorporate resolution 2020-117 adopting policy on political activities? The mayor provided his opinion when he sent it out. He was recommending that yes, employees can't be held accountable unless they receive written notice. So we could put the political activity policy in here. I could just copy it verbatim, I guess, renumber so it matches and put it as number 15, the alphabetical, and just add political activity policy. Or we just leave it as a resolution. What are your thoughts on that one?
Probably needs to be in policy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do we have a motion?
I move that we include the political action,
Political activity policy,
Activity.
resolution 2020-117.
2020-117 be incorporated into the personnel policy manual.
I'll second that.
All right, I got a motion from Alderman Tremblay and a second from our Mayor Pro Tem to insert the political activity policy into the personnel manual. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion carries.
The second item on there, a question, should we incorporate the Pump Act by providing a place that is not a bathroom for lactating mothers to pump? Mayor's opinion is that, I don't believe it needs to be in the policy, but we can get a sign to place outside of his office, as a designated space instead of, adding it to the policy. Thoughts?
I don't think it needs to be part of the policy.
Doesn't need to be in the policy, no.
I agree. That's 3 out of 4, so moving on.
Yeah, I agree.
4 out of 4. No motion for that one then. And then the third question provided by the city attorney, what about policies that only apply to the police department? Should we have a separate section in the PPM for police department SOP or a separate police department PPM? The mayor has his opinion in here, but I will tell you the police department does have a separate policy. And in fact, the lieutenant has emailed it to me and asked me to QC that one and review it. So I'll be looking at that. The mayor thinks that, all police department policies should not be in the personnel manual. It should be done
Agreed.
separately.
Okay,
So,
Agreed.
go ahead and, I'll continue to work with the police department to get their policy approved, and we'll do that. All right, then the other item was the pay scale. So, because those were the three questions from the attorney. I incorporated all the changes you asked for. So unless you guys reviewed it and saw something else, the only thing left to be added is the pay scale. And then I didn't incorporate it in this draft because I was waiting for the mayor. He hadn't sent me anything, so I sent him something. Do you have that email that you sent to me or something that you can pull up? Or I can just tell you what it said, everybody, because I have it right here in front of me.
My email, you're gonna read my email? That's fine.
So,
Yep.
I think this is from your email. Oh, I don't have the police department one on it. Yes, I do. Okay, so, city administrator would be a range of $38 to $58. Your email is better because it also includes the annual. Mine only goes hours. I have public works director at a $20 to $30 rate. The public works laborer, which would be the other folks in there, anywhere from $15 to $25. City secretary would be 20 to 30. Court clerk, 20 to 30. The deputy clerk, 15 to 25. Animal control officer, which is Ashley's position, 20 to 30. The deputy animal control, which I think Cassandra's filling that role, but I don't know that she's officially that one, but it's appointed by ordinance. We have a deputy animal control. That one is 18 to 25. It wasn't currently in there. Animal shelter tech, which is the new position, 15 to 20. And then the park employee, also a new position that's being added, is 15 to 20. The mayor looked at all these. His only concern was animal control officer. I think you were looking at that. There it is. You were looking at that as being not including Cassandra's, but Cassandra's filling the role as deputy animal control, and hers is within that. And if she's not, she hasn't been moved to that position. She was hired as an animal shelter tech, and she falls within that range either. So Cassandra's covered whichever position she falls under, but those are the three positions that we have according to the city council in our ordinances. So that's why I laid them out, and there's their annual salaries. If you guys have no questions or concerns with that, this does incorporate that everyone's pay falls within this, and the mayor does indicate that he thinks that this is doable within our budget. Any questions? Then we'll look at the police department one. Now, the chief provided one that broke out like a sergeant with different degrees or different levels. I just built, and the mayor concurred, we just have a pay range. And that the chief can recommend pay increases based on their improvement going from an associate's to a bachelor's, rather than putting all of that in our personnel policy. And there you can see what the chief, captain, lieutenant, sergeant, corporal, patrol officer, and code enforcement officer, the recommended salaries for all of them.
I can't even see it.
Code enforcement, here you go.
20 to
You want
30.
to read mine?
20 to 30 for
20.
code?
20 to 30, yeah. Here, can you read this one?
Annual salary, right?
No, those are hourly.
Hourly? I mean,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's how much they would make an hour.
Okay.
So that's what I'm proposing after the mayor's review. He made a couple of adjustments, but to incorporate these two tables, not the annual salary, just the hourly salary, into the personnel policy. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Does the police information need to be in the regular personnel policy file? That's that.
No, I think it should be in there. It's currently in there.
But we just agreed to have a separate policy.
Right, it can be.
I mean,
For
it
the
can,
police-
it can be in both.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
policy that the police is gonna have is
for their
they
policies,
still have to,
abide by our,
Right, and he
Abide
can
by
put
the
the more
general.
details, pay table in his, and that's why I wanted,
Right.
I thought just the basic one.
Yeah.
Was in here, so if you look at the way I did that, that encapsulates your steps within each of the sergeants and patrol officers and
His manual is kind of like us with the state, city and state. he shouldn't do anything degrades any
Yeah.
policy we have. He can
It
go
would only
above
be
and
more
beyond,
stringent,
but
yeah.
he
Right.
can't do anything be against it.
Yeah.
Okay. We need a motion? Are you gonna go
If-
forward with changes? or
If
go
you
back
want me to
or-
put those two tables into the personnel policy, yes,
I move you include the pay scales for all employees and personal man to include the police department.
I'll second that motion.
All right, I have a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by our Mayor Pro Tem to include the pay scales in the City of San Diego's Personnel Policy Manual. All those in favor say aye.
Uh,
All those opposed? That motion carries.
all right, that should finalize everything. Once I get all of these in here, I'll get it back to the mayor so he can distribute, and then we should be able to approve it at our meeting in so.
We'll get a final version in the December meeting, and then let's send it to print and issue it before the end of the year.
Are we gonna give each employee one or just each department and then have employees read what's there and
I-
email it to them? I don't think we should print a copy for each employee.
I would recommend what
One printed copy, no. A department head one? Is that what you're
the
saying?
one printed copy for each department,
Police Department, Public Works, Animal Control, and then the front
City
office.
Hall, yeah.
right?
And then email every
And Parks
city
and Rec.
employee a copy of
Yeah.
it, once we approve it in December.
Right,
And ask them to sign,
Come down and sign a physical copy, a physical.
to
Right.
go
Document.
stop by the front office and sign the acknowledgement for the city secretary to file in their personnel
but
record.
they should have a copy of the PDF.
Yep.
So they can print it if they want to, but that's. up
Or
to them.
refer to it at any point.
Or refer to it in.
Yeah, it's just a lot of pages to print if we're gonna be printing everybody a copy.
No,
Right.
but I think what we could do for the department head is run it to FedEx. That way it's nice and bound and tight, and then they can just sit in their department.
Yeah, and just make sure the employees know if they want to see a printed copy, go to your department head or the front office. Do not use city resources to print another copy of this.
Right,
Could be read only, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a PDF, it's not
Yes,
editable.
when I send the mayor the final copy for us to review at the December meeting, it will be in a PDF.
Hmm.
And that should finalize it.
Do you have something to say? Andrew?
I was just gonna ask the effective date y'all want for the resolution, whether it be that December meeting or January 1st or.
We can do
another
it for
date in
that
December.
December meeting. That way we can go straight to distribution.
Yeah, because you can email it while you're waiting for it to get printed.
Easy enough. Okay. Any other questions on personnel
Just
policy?
Please make sure you look through it and make sure I don't have any typos.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Thank you.
We have a vote.
No, on each of the things that I need to add, and then once I add it all, we'll bring it back next
Okay.
time and we'll accept it next time,
Okay.
but I still have more edits to make now. I have 2 more edits.
Okay, so if we don't have anything else, let's move to 11B.
11B, the motion was to move that to the December meeting, not this meeting.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah, I forgot about that when you sent this out for us to review, but I saw it when we were reviewing the meeting minutes from the last meeting, so that was postponed until December.
okay, that's fine. We'll talk about that offline then. Okay, let's jump to 11E, just so we can clear this one out, if there's any discussion on 11E.
So, for 11E, we have the mileage rate for the vet, but what about his time while he's here? Because he's not gonna be providing any services, animal services. He's just going to be like inspecting our animal shelter facilities and providing us a report on what we need to do to bring it to code, or if it's to code, and, to attend a meeting 3 times a year.
I do not have that paper in front of me. I didn't.
His rates? Is that the?
Yeah.
No, so we talked about his rates for coming here, and we're just using the 50-mile rate. But while he's here, he builds his time based on the services he's providing, and none of the services he's providing include inspect animal control facility, attend the meeting. And those are the 2 things that he'll be doing while he's here.
Yeah, so I sent him a document the other day.
Cause we just need to make sure, he's agreed to do it, we just need to make sure that you agree it's within our budget. Cause we can move forward if you agree that it's in his budget and you assume he's not gonna overcharge us for that services.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I would imagine it would be 2 to 3 hours worth of his time. It's gonna be purely consultative, right? He's gonna attend the meeting and then maybe do a walkthrough.
Well, we definitely have to do a walkthrough.
Right, right.
That's part of the requirement.
But if it's at night, then it's not gonna be,
Cause you sent him that email when I was in your office a couple weeks ago to tell him, here's the Texas code that talks about the animal advisory.
Yes, so I think the only people who can inspect are it only has to be inspected if we're a rabies facility. And then if we are, it has to be done by the Department of Health Services, state.
So, but I thought, and this
Yeah, I
city
think you're
attorney,
still-
I thought the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee was required to ensure that their facility was up to code based on what the Texas code said.
That's what I think.
Yeah, so he's not inspecting it for rabies facilities, he's inspecting it to make sure that it provides a safe, secure, and whatever the code requires, facility for securing the dog.
Okay, I will need to ask him, I didn't ask him that question.
Okay,
But he did send the rates for that. I'll ask him if he can send the rates for the inspection part of it. Because I think that would be separate from meeting with us.
because, right, I don't
Right.
think he can do that during a 1 hour meeting, because he's gonna have to take a look at the facility and tell us what is not up to code, what needs to be improved in order to provide a safe environment for the animals, dogs and
He's
cats.
gonna have to write a report, and it'll take time, his time.
Right, and that's,
so I sent him this document the other day, which is Animal Impoundment Basic, and it's basically
where'd you get that?
the state of Texas. And I can send it to you, just if you'll want to read it, yeah.
Because I'm the council person on that.
Yeah, but if it just goes through all the different things that that I think his inspection would go through,
Right.
right?
But he doesn't have to do the rabies quarantine one. I
Right,
understand that
and
was-
this does say that a quarantine facility must be inspected yearly by DSHS, so that, I think that's where you're getting that part. But I think this is a good foundation for him to say, okay, these are the things that I'm gonna look for, when coming to inspect, then he can give us a better idea of how much time he
Are you
needs.
familiar with this?
I am.
Okay, so
That is in my.
kind of know what the checklist before he comes in.
Yeah.
right? He
That's
kinda-
one of the things that I have to study to get the basic animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, what our facility should be without the rabies impound portion of it. So,
Right.
yeah.
So you have minimum standards for a shelter, right? So he can look at those.
Come look at our facility and then report
What has to be.
how we are or are not compliant. That's what I read in the Texas code. Is that
Right.
correct, Cassandra?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's what I read.
he as the vet on our advisory council is supposed to tell us, this isn't up to snuff, you need to fix these things.
Okay.
Or, this looks great, you can have 10 animals in. Whatever it is that he thinks based on this. And what he thinks is fair treatment of the animals, yeah. We need to make sure he understands that. We're asking for the rabies impound.
Okay.
Just what is a regular impound facility supposed to
But I
look
was
like?
like, I don't think you can do that. Okay.
Yeah, not the rabies, just a regular.
But some of the basics, right? Structural strength, floors, water disposal, water line, electricity, heating, ventilation and cooling, enclosures and space requirements, washrooms and sinks, storage, weather conditions. So I can send this to you, Mayor Pro Tem, if you'd like to have it.
Please.
Yep. But that's what I sent to him, so he knows kind of, because he asked me, like, what should I expect? And that's why I was like, it's mostly gonna be consultative. We need you to come to the meeting, one, but you're also gonna have to spend time here inspecting, right? And letting us know.
The
what-
inspection is once a year and then
Yeah.
probably a follow-up if we get it fixed in less than a year.
Yeah.
Not likely. But my intent as the council member on here is to have the 3 times a year where
Meeting.
everybody comes, but then have extra meetings with other
Committee.
folks in the animal control to make sure we're progressing and what else do we need to do as we move forward. Because we can meet more often and only require those individuals to attend the official meeting.
Okay.
And I'll have to speak with Cassandra regarding legalities of that, but we just need to make sure that we can afford it and get it started.
I think affordability wise, I don't think his rate's astronomical. I think he's relatively affordable. Obviously the time he spends here would be how it gets expensive, but if he can give me an idea of what he thinks he needs to spend here, then we can go from there. But I can also send him that too, but,
Yeah, and then he'll also have to do the report to tell us what we need to fix.
right, so he'll have to
So-
come back for that presentation, or he can do it Zoom.
Or he can just email it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and optimally, it'd be great if he did the inspection before our first meeting. So that he comes to the first meeting with that inspection and then sure everybody knows what we're looking at.
Mayor Pro Tem, that's on the way.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so then we not got rid of, but we moved on from E. B is postponed. Okay, so then let's jump into agenda items. So we're going to accommodate agenda items 11C. Then let's do 12H. 12J. And 12L. In executive session.
We'll just read the items.
You want me to read them? Yeah. All right. So the items to be read. All right, so 11C, executive session to deliberate the appointment, employment duties, discipline, or dismissal of the chief of police pursuant to Texas Government Section Code 551.074, personnel matters, and Section 551.071, consultation with attorney on matter in which duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Then we will also discuss 12H, executive session to deliberate the hiring of a code enforcement officer and related matters pursuant to Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.074. And 12J, executive session to deliberate the hiring of a kennel technician and related matters pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.074. And 12L, executive session to deliberate a change in compensation for police department lieutenant, patrol officer, and chief of police related matters pursuant to the Texas Open Meeting Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.074. The time is now 7:53. We are now in executive session.
Take off your mic.
Take them off. Okay, if everybody can hear, the time is now 8:49. We are in session. Okay, so we will start with agenda item 11D.
Go back to 10D and just say no action.
No, it's 11D.
11.
Yeah, 11
Yeah.
days. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so do we want to, just no action to be taken on
No action
11D?
on 11D.
No action. Close that one out.
All right, we will move forward. Okay, so then we've got that one. Do we want to just address all the executive session items, or do we just want
Yes,
to?
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, good. So
Before we
then,
forget.
yep. All right, so for 12H, actually
12I.
12I, discuss under possible action on hiring a code enforcement officer and related matters. Unfortunately, our code enforcement officer applicant withdrew their application, so there is no action to be taken on I.
But the chief has already got that re-advertised.
That is correct. Yep, so it is out there and ready for the next person. Okay, moving along to then 12K, discuss under possible action on hiring a animal shelter technician, AKA kennel technician, and related matters.
So I would move to hire Ms. Ramirez as our animal shelter technician, part-time, to begin on the 17th of November at a rate of $15 an hour.
Second.
All right, I have a motion from our Mayor Pro Tem and a second from Alderwoman CJ to hire Nomi Ramirez as a part-time animal shelter technician beginning on November 17th at $15 an hour. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, that motion carries. All right. And then moving on to agenda item 12M, discuss on a possible action on a change in compensation for Police Department Lieutenant, Patrol Officer, and Chief of Police.
And I'll do this as three separate motions. So first, I would move to give the Police Department Lieutenant Mr. Alvarez a pay raise of $7,500 a year, effective on the next pay period.
I second.
Okay, got a motion from our Mayor Pro Tem and a second from Alderwoman CJ to provide a pay increase for Lieutenant Alvarez to an increase of $7,500 effective the next pay period. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay,
I move to provide Patrol Officer Palomares a pay raise to $29 an hour, effective next pay period.
Second.
okay, I have a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman CJ to increase the pay rate for Officer Palomares to $29 an hour effective the next pay period. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay,
And I move to give the Chief of Police, Chief Juarez, a pay raise of $5,000 a year, effective the next pay period.
I second.
okay, got a motion by our Mayor Pro Tem and a second by Alderwoman CJ to increase the salary for Chief Juarez an additional $5,000 annually effective the next pay period. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, that motion carries. All right. So now let's go right back to the top. Discuss and possible action on resolution 2025-236, appointing a mayor pro tem. Of course, it's always discussed or should be discussed annually to either keep the mayor pro tem or change the mayor pro tem. I have no qualms about keeping anybody the same or changing it if you also wish to do so, but that is open for discussion.
Nominate the existing Mayor Pro Tem to continue on as the Mayor Pro Tem if she will accept.
Thank you, sir. Yes, I would accept.
I was like, can we ask her first if she?
Absolutely, I will accept.
That's the case, then I move that we appoint the Councilwoman Madero as the Mayor Pro Tem for 2025-2026 calendar year.
Oh, there we go. Crickmer's on the board. All right. So I have a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Crickmer to appoint Alderwoman Madero to the Mayor Pro Tem for 1 year pursuant to section 22.037 of the Local Government Code or until her successor is elected. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. All right.
We need to fix the
Is the,
resolution.
does it say,
Once on the agenda, it says 236 and the resolution itself says 237.
oh, okay.
So. Just needs to be
Yeah,
numbered
so let's just, what is the,
and then adopting the resolution.
So which, we
I'll-
don't need to change the numbers because 236 is the newspaper one, so we just keep do them in opposite order, that's fine. But there is a typo in the resolution 2025-237. The second whereas paragraph, a new governing body, the city of San Diego held its first meeting on November 13th, 2024. I move to strike 2024 and insert 2025.
A second.
okay, so I have a motion by our existing mayor pro tem and a second by Alderwoman CJ to strike 2024 in the second whereas and insert 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right. And then we would need a motion to accept as presented, correct?
President.
As amended, yes, sorry.
I move that we accept resolution 2025-237 as amended.
One second.
All right, I got a motion by Alderwoman CJ and a second by Alderman Kirkner to accept resolution 2025-237 as amended. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed. All right. All right, discuss enter action on resolution 2025-237 or 2025-236 designating a newspaper of record. That goes.
They were in the folder backwards. So the newspaper resolution was prior to
Ah.
the Hartford Town resolution. That's why the numbers are.
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well,
So we
being-
discussed this previously. This Wilson County News is the only one that's distributed here in the area. So we're kind of limited. Isn't that a requirement that it's one that's distributed in our town?
That's
more
right.
cost effective as well.
Yeah.
San Antonio Express News is too expensive.
All right, I move to adopt resolution number 2025-236, a resolution of the city of San Diego, Texas, naming a public newspaper to serve as the official newspaper of the city of San Diego, Texas for fiscal year 2025-26, and provide that each ordinance notice or other matter required by law or ordinance to be published therein.
I second.
All right, I have a motion by our mayor pro tem and a second by Alderwoman CJ to adopt resolution number 2025-236, a resolution of the city of San Diego, Texas, naming a public newspaper to serve as the official newspaper of the city of San Diego, Texas for fiscal year 25-26. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay. Moving right along, 12D. Discussing a possible action on a quote for a new zero-turn mower. So this was discussed during the budget, during our budget season. Priscilla is adamant that they could use a new zero-turn. I think it was originally agreed that while certainly a new zero-turn is appreciated and wanted, the current equipment that we do sit on, there is nothing wrong with it physically. It can be rebuilt if it were to be damaged or break. But I think I guess at this point, right, it's just up for discussion.
I think we revisit it later in the year possibly, but yes, so we discussed this last meeting or meeting prior, that they would keep using the equipment they have. It's repairable. No need to get into another high dollar piece of equipment.
Is the mower that they have currently operational?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, they have two.
They have two and they have tractor.
And they have two tractors.
Yeah, they have two track, yeah, so I don't think a zero turn is
No,
not a
mine would be
showstopper for
doing that
public
right now.
works.
Not right
Yeah.
now.
Maybe come springtime, they'll wear it out and break it in a.
And I mean, we could always,
Mowing season.
we could always look into a finance, right? Whereas incurring $10,000 is a lot, but $300, $400 a month.
Or we look at it later in the year and
Yeah.
see what's in their budget. If
Yep.
they can afford to pull it out of their budget, fine, we don't have to pull it from somewhere else. So I should
Understood.
say we revisit it later in the year.
Okay, so then no action taken on agenda item D. All right, discuss under possible action on status of resolutions and ordinances. So I guess that's for me to address what the documentations that you sent out, is that correct?
Well, I sent it to you. I didn't send it to everybody because I'm not allowed to do that. But yes, that spreadsheet that lists all the issues that exist with our current ordinances and resolution that's passed the council last time asked that we be able to discuss it and maybe set a timeline for getting these things corrected. I know you've said in the past that the city attorney may have copies of some of these missing documents. Some of them need to be corrected. In the past, where an ordinance was missing, for example, the budget for the fiscal year 26, the amendment to it references an ordinance that is used for something else. So
26 or 25?
for fiscal year 26, so that's 25, 26. Fiscal year,
This one that just passed?
no, I think it was the last one.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
we've got a couple with this problem where the ordinance is missing, or we realigned it and gave it a different number. So, no, I think it's missing this year and last year. But we just gave it A and B on the ordinance number, but it's just those kind of things that we need to clean up and bring back. It's all in the spreadsheet. I think it's relatively current, the version that I sent to you last. It could be as simple as adding an A or a B to the ordinance number so that we have both of them out there, posting the attachments with it, those kind of things. But there are a lot of.
So
Understood.
we don't have a body, an individual that we can dedicate to doing this, do we?
I mean, we could always try to repurpose Lisa. She doesn't have a lot of the context, right? I think between myself and Delma, we probably have the most context, right? Because we have the communications with Cassandra.
A lot of them even predate Delma. They
Yeah.
go back to
I
when.
mean,
Cal-
before we
way back.
get
Yeah.
into the
Yeah, and so,
codification, this all
Yeah.
needs to be straightened out,
Yeah.
yeah,
so.
and they'll
There are
point
a
out,
lot of errors on the website.
they'll point out
as far as
during the codification process. It's in their contract that
Yeah.
they'll flag things that need to be updated, so that'll be a.
But they're not gonna know
Right, they won't know
Right.
what's missing.
some of the things. And why should we waste the time when we know the errors exist? We should do our due diligence to fix the errors before we hire them to do it. We will expedite their ability to get it done if we spend some time looking for these missing attachments now. For example, and this isn't even talking about a resolution. The resolution has a resolution from 2024 where the police department has some policy. They're not there, and Delma can't find them.
So
So
how do we move forward?
I don't know. I provided a list to this council before I was even on it. So the council's had it for a year. We need to figure out how we're going to get these items resolved.
Somebody just needs to track them down one at a time. And bring it back to
So
council.
I mean,
But the.
When we hire the administrator,
based on the resolution number or the ordinance number.
I haven't even
gives
gone
us-
through all the resolutions. My spreadsheet's on the ordinances. I just
Okay,
know a
well,
couple of the
that
resolutions.
number will give us a point at where to start.
Yeah,
looking
she
for the
has that.
information. So
Mayor
either
Pro Tem
going
has
through
provided that.
minutes, going through the minutes and looking to see what actually transpired and where the document is, whether or not council
it should
members
be-
may have the documents.
Yeah, but so it should be in the email. It should be in the files on the network that
Mm.
were put together. Here's the stuff from this meeting. So, yeah, it could be going through the file
So it's
documents and
hunting-
through the
The
email.
hunting expeditions.
I don't know that
I don't
anything
know
is
if you
actually
can
in
give,
the
I
meeting
don't
minutes.
know if you can give enough guidance to Lisa
yeah,
to where.
It's
she
really
can
gonna sit
Search this stuff.
with me and a little bit of Delma, to go back the 4 years, right? So. Yeah, it's a lot,
Okay.
but I mean, it is
But
what
if we
it,
don't do
but,
it right.
but if we, and again, right, kind of, forecasting. Once we can get an administrator, then that could be a part of their, regular duties to go back and work a list every so often, right?
Yeah, but
So-
that codification contract's only good for 6 months.
Yeah.
Those quotes.
Well,
good
and
for
then
6 months.
just
So
for-
we've got to get it resolved.
For
before that.
clarity, the more we add in ordinances and updates and things like that, it's gonna change no matter what. So that is the moment we add 237, it's changed.
They
So-
need to link them all together and write. Supersede
But
on
anyways.
the old one.
Yeah, but anyway, that's neither here nor there, that's codification, but
But then when you guys have that spreadsheet like that, you need to send it to me so I can fix it on the website.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
and in the files that
Yeah.
are on holding on the website.
yeah, and I can do that too, right? I don't have a problem helping you with
Right.
that. We both can do that. It's finding the documentation. That's gonna be
Yeah.
That's been the struggle.
That's a challenge.
Because I specifically asked for the police department files so that I could have that when I was working on the police department manual.
Yeah.
But Delma can't find them. She said she's gone through the emails and.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just something that Ray, previous police chief, wrote and had on his computer. And so there's no telling where any of this stuff is going to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I will go through the resolutions too, but I got through the ordinances and I've been trying to keep it current as we pass more.
Yeah, well, let me look at that list again. Let me see if I can try to tackle it during this Thanksgiving break.
I would also suggest that you share it with the council members
I can do
so that they know what's out there. I would have sent it out, but
I got you.
Well, it's like, 15
Okay,
ordinances a year. I went back and looked at about 15 ordinance a year written or rewritten,
yeah, we got a 33%
10 years.
error rate.
10 years.
If you go back 10 years, it's a 33% error rate.
It's a lot to go through, especially if you have to.
Twenty 2024 had a 50% error rate.
Review the minutes, that's a lot to go through.
There's no need to go back and read the minutes.
Okay.
You just read each ordinance and see what's missing. Well, I read each ordinance to see what's missing. You look at my spreadsheet to see what's missing, see if it's been fixed. Go look and see if it's been fixed and then go
As
try and
far as
find.
the verbiage,
okay, I'll send out the document that you sent.
Yeah,
just
so
the
that's
parts that
show you what I'm talking about is missing.
okay,
2024, we have a budget that's passed and the resolution, that ordinance referenced is the one that's the summer intern program. That's not the budget.
okay, yeah.
So where is the budget?
Long number.
Yeah. But there's no missing number. So where's our budget ordinance?
Okay,
So, yeah, so stuff like that.
all right, so I'll send out the list and I'll take another gander at it during the Thanksgiving break, see if I can.
And I'll start looking at the resolution.
Can we get through the ordinance first? I mean, you can look, just don't send it to me.
I won't send it to you yet,
Okay.
but it takes a while because I
Yeah.
read every one and I'm not even talking
We're
about
doing our-
typos. I don't
our
address
IT
typos.
thing.
I address factual
I'll just say
incorrect and missing information only.
I want to access.
Good job, you. Yeah,
All right.
Good job, you did.
Well, then let's move on in an interest of time, as it's 9 o'clock. All right, any other discussion on that? All right. Discuss under possible action on providing tablets, laptop computers to all council members. Alderman Tremblay, Alderman Walker. you have the
I've
floor.
actually been thinking about this for a while and I used to attempt to bring my computer or laptop in here. I always had problems connecting. It was always an issue. But I think that can be corrected pretty easily. But as far as providing tablets would be fine, don't necessarily need computers, but tablets. And all of the agendas, all the attachments, everything that go along could simply be sent to us. And we come in and we have a tablet in front of us. We don't need to be printing all this stuff. Delma doesn't have to prepare this and make these
It would save
booklets.
city time. I
Save
mean,
a
I
lot of
love having my
time.
tablet here.
They could have that time to devote to something else, maybe, be looking at the ordinances and
Yeah.
resolutions.
And the number.
And
of
they've got to
things
take
we
hours to put this thing together.
Yeah.
And
times.
you're probably not working by yourself, you're probably getting some help, so, figure that they could be 8 hours of labor involved in putting this together. I think, it would be a payback to the council, there's 5 of us. Tablets, $200-300.
Have you found any?
HP Surface Pro is only a few hundred.
See, I mean, I would ask, I would.
HP Surface Pro?
Yeah, I would ask either,
I don't know, my daughter.
Alderman Walker, or we get our
Wait,
IT guy. To make a recommendation, what he would suggest. And because I'd like for him to set them all up for us, and have them ready to go.
So we would need to have Outlook or
Yeah.
GoDaddy, whatever access,
Outlook.
even if it's just through the internet, we would need to have able to connect to the internet in
Right, and
here.
I'd ask that we get an access point in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
And
us, and it
Jerry
could
has
also
the
help the people
access.
that are attending the meeting, if they want to log on and keep,
We have a guest access point.
I've tried that one.
It's
it
hard to
kept
get.
dropping, it's
Yeah,
not good
it's
in
really-
here.
That's
It's
not a
not
good
good
place.
in here.
yeah.
So that would be,
Let them use the guest access, if we can have our tablets as provided by the city connected to the city
To the city hall.
access,
Yeah.
employee access point, that would be helpful, but it's gotta have the ability to open and read all of the attachments and the ability to
That's why I
check,
was
get
thinking
to
more
our email.
Microsoft, because
Yeah.
we used Microsoft Boost.
Yeah,
So if we could, I don't know what it would cost to have him, put an access point here. I would think it'd be, a couple $100 if that somewhere
It
in an
would cut our
antenna.
paper cost in half, I think. for the
Exactly.
city.
Easily.
So I would, if that's doable and the tablets, if I figured at high of 400 each, that would be a high number, you think, for a tablet? I mean, they're dirt cheap. I mean, I bought my wife one for under $100.
But if it has the, well,
gotta have Word,
city
right?
has-
It's gotta have word
but the
processor.
city has the software.
But if it's the cities, we just need to.
Yeah.
As long as we have a
the
share license.
Jerry
belongs
just needs
the
to set it
city, then
up.
we
He
can
just
use
needs- But he would need to upgrade your Outlook to have the Office package on it. Right, so there's gonna be a cost there.
That's why we're talking about it. He had
They
the,
charge you to.
if he did the setup
Mhm.
and he makes the recommendation or the tablet, you can get a tablet out there that's made to certain specifications.
Why don't we just ask the
Oh
mayor
my
to go talk
But
to
can
our
you,
IT?
I
You
can
talk
go
about,
because-
you gotta get a recommendation and we can go ahead, if we can go ahead and approve a not to exceed dollar amount. And we can get the ball rolling. I mean, I think the sooner we get this going, it just frees up the office up there, gives them time to get other things done. We do have some short fuses. Coming up beginning of the year, if we're gonna act on getting the ordinances and resolutions going. I mean,
Are you comfortable moving forward without speaking to the IT guy first? I think the mayor.
I mean, you
the
speak
mayor's
to him,
giving
let's
me
just say-
information, he's uncomfortable moving forward
just say
without
we have
finding
a-
out the complications.
What's the access?
I mean, we can, yeah. Let's just proceed with getting the big picture, right? What is it gonna cost us? Then I can bring that back, right? Tablets, if it needs the Word package, then, he's gotta upgrade y'all's emails. So I'll give you all the full scope of what it's gonna
And if
cost.
you present at the next meeting, can he have it all put together by the end of the year? So we start off
sure,
our
I
January
mean,
meeting.
you'd have a.
Yeah,
So
it
we
should,
show up at our
But the
January
Microsoft
meeting and he
tablet
gives us
can
our
have
laptops.
Stuff on it.
Yeah.
And then he's just going in and program
Yeah.
for individual emails and such.
yeah,
so
log
that-
in, then y'all would have to come in and log in with your
Yeah.
password.
That would be,
We could, so
Yes.
that would be the question. If you want to go talk to him first, then you need to include in your conversation, can he have them ready for us by our first meeting in January? If we approve it in December.
Well, it would
At
be
the
what-
first
it would be
meeting in
what, 3
December.
weeks? Yeah, I guess. 4 weeks almost, it would be the first meeting in December, in January. I don't see why he couldn't do it, right?
Or the second meeting at the latest, because we need to get these in.
All right, well, I don't think I need to make a motion with that. I just.
I'm making faces because you keep giving me more stuff to do. So that's why I'm making faces. Well, yeah, well, you do, just one that doesn't work full-time somewhere else. All right, so then, yeah, I'll talk to Jerry. I'll see what I can put together by the next meeting. Next meeting.
And please make sure he understands, we need to be able to read the attachments to
Yeah,
the meeting on the tablet.
yeah.
So that we no longer have to have anything printed.
but the ability to print if we need to. If we want to.
So you want?
Well,
Right
yeah,
here?
you should be able, yeah, you. like
Well,
to
we
tie
should
your
be able
printer
to
to it.
tie
Are y'all gonna take it
Yeah.
home?
Yeah, oh, yes, we're gonna take them home.
Yeah,
Sure, we'll sign for them.
yeah.
Okay.
You have to have them around to be prepared for the
Right.
meeting.
I mean,
the whole
don't you
idea.
get an email? I mean, not you, Crickmer, but
No,
all of y'all get an email.
But I go through and I highlight.
Yeah,
If you were to open up, I have a folder on here with everything that you emailed to me for this meeting. And I went through and I highlighted everything. And then I took another Word document where I typed up my notes and the comments and questions I wanted to ask for each agenda.
okay, so y'all want to process too, right? The documents, not just read it here in front of us.
Be able to.
Right, you'll
We
be
need
able
to
to.
be able
Be able to
Type of
create documents, for
And if I
instance,
wanna-
the,
Email, gotta be able to, sure, I gotta be able to.
So now you want a keyboard?
we're all gonna be on the same, there's a
There's a
keyboard.
keyboard on tablet.
to the
They're
tablet.
built into it? Okay. That's what y'all want.
Got a case that has a keyboard.
Right, that's what I'm saying, like, gotta know
Right.
what y'all want.
Yes.
When you say a tablet,
We need to be able to create documents, because right now I use my old personal laptop, which you saw how good that worked. When I needed to reboot it in the meeting, so it's my old one, but I use that to write the personnel policy updates. and it's very tedious. So if I had a tablet provided by, because I'm not doing city stuff on my main equipment because it's discoverable by Freedom of Information stuff, so it's separate. On this old laptop,
Your own network. Something like
That's enough, John. That's as much.
No, I mean, that's what it would be.
no, we can just access the city through here, because we have the internet in here. And there's the city access.
Anything else y'all want to add?
We're trying to save printing money and personnel. time.
You better stop.
It's not on the agenda.
We'll talk about it later. Okay,
Binders and printing everything.
yeah,
The whole day, is it just you or you and Lisa both? Lisa?
yeah, and then when you get adjustments, middle of the day, right, then we gotta do it again, so.
Yeah, then you have to reprint it.
So what I'm envisioning is that each account would be assigned into to the OneDrive. And then you can just pull up the folder, right? I wouldn't even have to send you the documents because the documents are dropped in there
You just send
periodically.
us an email saying the agenda's posted, the documents are out in the folder.
Yeah.
If Jerry can make it connect to the OneDrive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine too.
Okay.
And then it's like, we're saving 8 hours, 16 hours a month. Plus, even if
Plus the
Lisa's
cost,
only spending
materials.
4
A
hours,
meeting.
half a day, when Donna's spending a full day, that's 24 hours a month.
Yeah.
Of their time that we're saving, and then I'm sure this is more than half of our printing budget.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the commissioners court, you look at the city council, they have meetings. Got a computer sitting in front of them or a tablet, I'm sitting there shuffling paper.
Yes,
All right,
All right, cool.
be a lot easier for me, because I'm shuffling paper.
All right. 12G, discuss under possible action on procedures for approving all permit applications.
you know, and this one is, I kind of really was hoping we'd had our code compliance officer in at this point. It all kind of relates back to that responsible person who's responsible for enforcing that specific code ordinance, that specific one. So I think at this point, I think the only thing that needs to be done at this point, until we get there, is that whenever a permit is issued, the department that's responsible for it should be notified that a permit has dropped for a specific whatever. Fence, right?
Fence permit.
Who's responsible for the fence
Who's
permit?
responsible for the fence
That's a
permit?
good question. We don't have it. That's what I'm saying. Don't have the code compliance at this time. I was hoping
Right,
we
the
would.
code compliance, animal control, all of it falls under the police department.
Well,
Do we have building permits?
Not a physical.
No.
building
No.
permit.
But-
We have
but-
building
Occupancy
inspections.
permit,
I'll take driveway permit,
driveway
for
permit.
example. Okay, who's responsible for the driveway permit? Not the police department.
No, Public Works
Right.
Director is the one that's
Right.
responsible for
So
going out.
if-
and-
if
But
someone
that would
comes-
change under,
It
Under
got a
under
code
code enforcement, then code enforcement would be approving all
Right.
permit applications
Right.
pretty much, so.
Mhm.
Except for animal control, I think all the animal
Yeah.
control permits should stay with it. I think you're right, we need to look at that, but I don't think we can until we have code enforcement, because I don't think for police department as they are doing code enforcement, but I don't think they have the manpower to do permit.
No,
And-
they don't.
And just for, so I review mobile home inspections, right? So I give the final approval on mobile home installations. Whether they're new or they're used.
Do you do
Right.
that in your role as mayor or city administrator?
I'm assuming that's a city administrator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just need to start.
Oh, I know.
Because
Yeah,
pretty soon, that's not gonna be on your plate.
yeah. So there,
Another thing we need to make sure the city administrators able to do.
yeah, so mobile homes, I will review fences if it's something that's kind of iffy, right? Like if they want to go 6 feet and they have 4 feet of limestone and 4 feet of wrought iron, right? So within the ordinance, read it and make sure that what they're building is in compliance. Picket style fences, that's pretty cut and dry. Example, I had one with, if they wanted our panel all the way around, obviously that's not a go. That was a while back. So I look at those. I don't look at driveway and culvert permits, because that one will be assigned to Priscilla. That one should be fairly easy if it had a culvert previously, right? I think it's expected to have a culvert, and if it doesn't, and she reviews and thinks it does, then that's when we bring in the city engineer.
So
So
does she actually approve the permits or does Delma approve them and then notify Priscilla?
And that's where.
so for the
that's-
driveway, it should be Priscilla approving.
Should be Priscilla actually approving them. So,
Yeah.
so the
So-
Delma accepts it and then turns it over
Yeah.
to Public Works, to
Right.
Priscilla to,
Right, so if they come in and want a driveway permit, they submit the application, they leave the application and a phone number and
They go out.
it's not. We don't need to be approving them, you know.
no,
as they walk
exactly.
in,
That should be
It needs to go
the,
to the responsible department.
all permits should be done that way once we get the code enforcement in there.
Right.
There's no reason for the city secretary, court clerk, deputy clerk to be.
I'll
approving permits.
Yeah.
resubmit this at a future date.
Yeah, hopefully,
So that we can get more, and it doesn't, I don't think it needs to be an ordinance or a resolution, I think this could just be.
just a
policy.
conversation, you know.
Right, but I think
We'd be
we
done
need
with-
to modify
Right.
some of the ordinances, such as the driveway ordinance to specifically replace Public Works. So
Yeah.
any ordinance that has a requirement for a permit, we need to verify that it doesn't have a specific individual as the one approving it.
Responsible, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of offhand that needs to be included, but if you include that in your agenda item, then we can fix it at that same time as well.
All
Or
right,
my only request when you bring it back.
I approve occupancy, but that's based
But
on,
does it say? Who does it say approves it, or is it just because you do it, that's a policy? Does the ordinance say the city administrator?
or
approves
their
it?
designee.
City administrator or their
Don't you
designee?
have to go to the fire department?
So I gotta go to the fire department that does an inspection. Then they do a safety inspection, then I get BB inspections to do their inspection, and then once they're all in agreement, then I give the approval.
You actually.
And
issue
provide
the
a certificate of
certificate.
occupancy.
Yeah, so does the city administrator stay with that, or does that one go to the code enforcement? We need to-
It would all be code.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one
Yeah.
should be added, because if we don't call out those ordinances specifically in your agenda item, we won't be able to modify them at the same time we have the conversation. Is my only concern, sir, when you bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a list of all the permits that I'm aware of, and then we can start finding ordinances for those. And then target those.
And all animal control should just go to animal
Yeah.
control.
You're talking about like the litter and all that stuff.
Yes, the
Yeah.
litter permit, the community cat caregiver,
Yeah.
those are, I think, unnecessary to burden the code enforcement. Have 3 animal control employees.
I agree. All right. If y'all want to be here forever, y'all can keep going.
Move to adjourn.
All right, it's 9:23. We are adjourned.